Hi, welcome back channel, TrainStation2. Alright, I hope you have a good game for this new event, Halloween. For me, of course, working really hard. I will show you the whole process of my first competition as usual. When you start off the new event, you're going to decide whether do you want to put in gems to expand that factory. Alright, so I'm going to share with you later on my whole game process for the first competitions. Didn't really have a good start, although I started late, about 10 or 12 hours late normally. Sometimes depends on luck. Again, for this competition, it seems a bit tough. There are a lot of things to be delivered at the onset itself before we can break out of this cycle and into the different scenarios that we're going to play here. But first out, a lot of these non-event items were asked for to get an opportunity to build lots of those saw blades and nails and whatnot, because those are the things that has been part and parcel of your building of the event items. There are sub-components of that. So nails and saw blades is a must, but then again, when they ask for all these non-event items, I just got to keep on doing or whatever I could to quickly create those items and get it done and over with before they start asking for the event items. And of course, lots of effort given the fact that we don't really have a huge warehouse, so that's always a problem for me, having a small warehouse due to the small population. For you, I always emphasize in building your warehouse spaces, if you have started into this game at the early stages, focus on building your warehouse space by increasing your population using the 5 building technique. So always lay out just 5 buildings, and then with that you can go on and keep on building towards your whole journey of expanding your warehouse. Keep on doing that so that eventually with huge warehouse spaces you wouldn't face the same problem. But if you are like me and already part and parcel into the game, like maybe region 4 or 5, you still have a very tiny warehouse, then probably I would suggest you use those core factories. Do not spend your gems in the event if you have not fully upgraded all your core factories. I always urge players to basically keep on working on their core factories first. So what I mean by building on your core factories, you can see the number of slots I have in those core factories. That is the max you can do, and with that you have the input and output tray. Always have those if the items that takes a long while in your output tray ready to be collected, and then you can fill your input tray with the items that gives you return of the raw materials required. So for example, I'll be building a lot of those tables in my input tray, so that once I cancel the job, I will get back the saw blades that is required in this event, and at the same time sometimes you deliver the timber as required itself. So this is how I do about getting the small warehouse problem settled, using the interim warehousing, I call it, using those core factories that have fully been upgraded. You get 6 slots or so. So that's it. You're going to decide whether do you want to spend 30 gems to basically expand your event factory. Currently it comes with 2 slots. Spend about 30 gems, you get another 1 more. And if you are really rich in gems, you spend another 80. Then you can have 4 slots in total. So for me, I'm trying maybe just to spend 30 gems to expand one of those slots, so you can help in the event items production. Otherwise, we start with 2 slots. It's a bit painful though. So in this event, generally we got to really work into getting 2 legendaries if possible. How to basically you're gonna work with starting late in the event. Hopefully you meet with less aggressive players, or less competitive players I call them, in the whole game itself. When you have less competitive competitors, you would basically be able to get high ranking, hopefully in the top five. If you could top three, that's the best. And with every time top three, or also called a third positioning, you get 200, and after five competitions, you already have 1,000, and that goes getting your legendary of 1,000 event coins. Always save up those event keys in order to exchange that 4,000 event keys legendary. That's the other one that I will go for. So every single competition, if you basically save up to or claimed two legendaries, you have built up a very huge fleet of legendary trains. Not forgetting the fact that it comes with 80 capacity for the legendaries. It's basically unlike the region ones, you get only a 60 capacity max. For the event ones, it comes with an 80 capacity. It's relatively important. You should have at least 180 capacity legendary train fully upgraded in order not only to make quick deliveries in your competitions to win. You will collect lots of gold, or the maximum amount of gold, from every single city with a legendary of 80 capacity in every city. Then you can get I think lots of gold, like probably for me about 5,000 or more. Every 4 hourly. So of course, you minus the sleeping time, probably you at least can get 3 rounds of 4 hourly gold, and that gives you a good number of those gold reserves, which you definitely need it badly for two things. Upgrade your trains, you need parts, you need gold. Likewise, you upgrade your warehouse as well. So I've earlier mentioned about the warehouse. Just keep on building your population using the 5 building technique. Lay out 5 buildings and not more, because you'll be always 4 jobs being generated, and then you just cancel the job you can't do without the blue maps. So saving up blue maps is important. If you do not have sufficient blue maps, you have to go do those ship trades. If not, you get it from the event rewards as well. So with all this, keep on using the 5 building technique, and then you're going to set up the low buildings in the 5 building technique. Lay out 5 buildings, what I normally do, and then low buildings, you will be basically easier to do those building requests. Once done, you can get population, and not forgetting the fact that this event will have a special building that comes with 80 population. So please claim that as well. So besides the 2 legendaries, claim that special building. Any surplus in terms of event keys, you should think about getting whether a common plus rare, or you go for the epic. So sometimes that's a choice. For me, probably have sufficient event or those epic already. I'll go for a common and a rare. That's precisely after getting that special building. That's it. If you have special, or also call those additional special event keys or coins, you call it, you will change for parts as well. Alright, so it seems like you keep on unlocking those locations after you fulfill those requirements, so it's really painful. If you had a hard time clearing the first batch of items, you will really progress slowly. So you can see here a huge amount of quality they're asking for. At this juncture, I'm still doing well, but really unfortunate when something happens eventually. I felt that either gem spender, or once they break free of the first rounds, the players have lots of those event items ready, and they go full speed, and they caught up really fast. It's almost impossible for me to catch up after that, because of the huge quantities that we're looking at. So I'm quite upset in that context. You're doing really well initially, but it's just at the last moment the competition really went to very high and so aggressive that the heat keeps on me basically. So generally, if you are into competitions, you know, sometimes you just keep on going, and then eventually things doesn't work that way. So be it. I mean, after all, it's just a game. But it's quite sad in the fact that you're working really hard, you just get third. Really disappointed in this first competition. Initially, I was thinking that, oh, there's a good chance I may get that 350 event coins, but I'm just getting 200. But nonetheless, I'm still fine with the fact that if I'm able to do it for 5 rounds, I will still be able to get that 1000 event coin trains. Alright, thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe. Goodbye.